Hey guys, this is Zlewikk and welcome back to our series of videos about EU5 dev diaries that are called Tinto Talks. You see this is number 40 already, and after last week's feedback dev diary about changes to great powers, today we're gonna talk about government reforms and how much uniqueness the game is gonna provide. So similar to EU4, in EU5 government reforms are gonna shape the governments of the country, how unique specific country is in its mechanics, bonuses and decisions. At the start of the game, countries are only allowed 2 government reforms, but in every age you'll be unlocking an advance that unlocks you a slot, but in general you'll be also unlocking more and more government reforms in every age to choose from. Some countries will have reforms that are for free, so they don't take any slot, and in the end, on average, countries should have 7 or 8 reforms in total. So a bit less than in EU5 right now, because I think it's 10 to 12 right now in EU4, but it used to be like 5, 6 in the past, so it's already much more than through majority of history of EU4. Or because there were even a lot of time where they were just no guarantee forms. They were, but they were like incomparable to the current system. Some of the reforms are called major reforms, which means they are unique to each other, meaning that you have one major reform, and even when you have 8 reform slots, you cannot have a second major reform, which I understand major reforms like something like some of the tier 1 guarantee forms in EU4 that were shaping the type of a government, like Tsardom. As I'm saying, in each age there will be about 5 common guarantee forms added in each age, and another 2 per government type, so 7 in total in every age. But then there are about 150 already added of reforms that are unique. So you might already say that we can expect around 200 of guarantee forms at the release of EU5. Can you imagine that? Who told in the comment section it's gonna be a bourbons game with no content? They keep proving that they are trying for it to not be like that. It's gonna be hard to match expectations of a lot of people based on EU4, but I think they are in the right direction. Something that I'm not sure like is the user interface, because reforms will be part of the estates interface, where you have privileges for each of the estate. That UI becomes nicer and nicer with each dev diary, but I'm still not a huge fan of it. And guarantee forms will be part of the crown privileges. This will be guarantee forms. Why I don't like it is because what's an advantage of the system in EU4 is that for the reforms that we already took, you have a preview of like at least, the symbols of what kind of bonuses your current guarantee reforms are giving. And here I guess you'll have to hover on these reforms to get that, which is just a bit slower way of getting that crucial information. To remove a reform, you need 20 stability, which is not much because it is varying between -100 and 100. Some reforms cannot be changed, or they have specific circumstances that you have to meet to change them. And finally, adding a new reform does not cost anything. So it's not like in EU4 that it costs you reform progress, but you unlock them with every age anyway, so it's just more steady for most of the countries. It also depends how fast you unlock advances. And it takes time to get the bonus from the reform. You don't get it right away. It loads for 2 years to get all of the benefits. Let's see some examples of the common reforms. Religious tolerance, it's simple to get a higher tolerance of the heretics and heathens, and we did have this time of guarantee forms in EU4. Diplomatic traditions will be for countries that are very focused on having allies and subjects, because that's deep rep, and more importantly, diplomatic capacity. Military orders, where some fun stuff and unique stuff starts to happen, because military orders are for the Catholic theocracies, like I assume Teutonic Order or Livonian Order. Besides going with monthly progress towards some of this stuff, you're gonna get clergy levicies, you're gonna be able to have a clergy to be leaders, and most importantly, that's the unique stuff, you can be a target of military sponsorship. So people might sponsor a holy order. Isn't that beautiful and unique? You don't have that in EU4. How about some unique guarantee forms? I consider this pretty unique already. But Family Sagas is gonna be for Iceland. That will allow them to colonize right away. Obviously they just don't have much population to exploit it, so it's gonna be still very slow. Free departments is for countries with Chinese and Korean as a card language. and it's just making it easier to change laws and policies in your countries. Then we've got a third example, which is Magna Carta, that is from England or countries of English primary culture, that is pretty much giving more power to the nobles and higher base support for the parliament. I would like to see more. You said 150 and then you just show us 3? Come on, show us the Polish Sejm. It has to be unlocked in one of the ages, isn't it? But yeah, let's take a look at the comment section. How many unique guarantee forms should we expect the average country to have? I imagine France gets more than a random age reminder. Japan versus Serbia versus UK, etc. France will have more, obviously. Others can invite settlers for the Iceland. That's pretty nice. It has some limitations though. Can an overlord force their vassal to enact a government reform? No, but give me a few reasons why you want it. Yeah, that's the approach that we like. So government reforms are sort of like crown privileges, and they aren't really in their own tap them at all, unlike in EU4. Yes, Sealand, you are correct. Will some government reforms like this affect the name of the country? For example, if I become a military order as a theocracy, would I get a cool name? For example, Livonia, Livonia Order, etc. Yes! Ah, did I tell you that next week we're gonna talk about the parliaments? We will. Can states force a reform on me if they are unhappy and powerful enough? Some yes, but mostly it's about the privileges. So when Johan said that France has more of guarantee forms, a goblin asked if there's a minimum, or do completely generic countries exist? Do you have a baseline number you want to relevant countries? Well, they have over 1.5 thousand countries, so it's not like every single one of them is gonna have unique content. So for now it's gonna be just the key countries, and probably expanding more in the future. So instead of 200 reforms, which is insane already, we probably will have thousands in a few years of development of EU5. Many of those will be generish of these countries at the start. Yeah, people are complaining that, oh, why would Iceland have this colonization? Historically, they did not really colonize much. Well, it has colonization, but you guys are missing an important point. In EU5, colonization is very much linked to the amount of population you can send to colonize. So Portugal with 1.3 million people at the start has a bit more of possibilities than Iceland with 46k or Greenland with 1k. They can colonize, but it's gonna be very limited and very hard to achieve. And again, having the ability to recruit explorers doesn't put Iceland on the same level as the Iberians, not even close. You need a good economic and population base to explore, let alone host a colonial empire. Iceland's basic situation is far more restrictive than whether or not they have this modifier. The guy is asking if there's any cooldown changing reforms. It looks like you can just keep changing it, only if you have stab, which is actually risky, because if someone has a lot of stab, let's say 100, can just keep changing and exploiting some mechanics. Don't change it, I want to test it on the release. How many unique guarantee forms would be there at release? Lots. Would additional guarantee forms be added in updates of DLCs? More, obviously. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna finish. I think that's a lot of interesting information, and again, another dev diary proving that there's gonna be plenty of favor at the release of the game, which makes me hope that this game will be pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Obviously, subscribe to the channel to get notified about any future Teen Talks videos I'll be doing. Bye!